Hello, it's Meadow, and I wanted to apologize for not making a video last week. I was busy. I was supposed to have 2 midterms, so I was studying for 2 midterms, and then the day before the midterm, because they were both on the same day, one of the professors was like, just kidding, we're not gonna have that midterm. I need the class because we had a snow day. We missed one of those classes. So I still ended up having one, and then I also had a club meeting for this club that I just joined because I'm trying to get involved, you know? So that was my week. It was busy, and it was like more than I was accustomed to, and I did not have time to film and edit. But I'm here now to tell you a fun little story about a traumatic thing that happened to me in high school on Valentine's Day. In honor of the fact that it is the week of Valentine's Day. I know it's already passed by the time you're watching this, but, you know, in spirit. Let's set the scene. I am a sophomore in high school in 10th grade. I had never had a boyfriend before, really wanted a boyfriend. It was a big insecurity of mine that I had never had a boyfriend, and I didn't have one until I was in my senior year of high school, okay? And my friends were very aware of the fact that I was very insecure about this. I had never had a partner, let alone one on Valentine's Day, like the saddest day of the year to not have a relationship, and they knew this. Like, they knew that I was very upset about it, they knew that I was very insecure about it, and that it was something that I didn't like to talk about because it made me very uncomfortable and very unhappy, right? Valentine's week comes up, and the a cappella group at our school is doing this fun little thing where they're selling serenades. They'll go and sing one of the chosen songs from their list to anyone of your choosing. You would buy the serenade at lunch, and they would sing it to the person at lunch, and there was an A and B lunch, okay? And also, you could make the serenades anonymous, like not tell you who it's from. It's that week, the serenades are beginning to go out, okay? The a cappella group comes in, you know, they start singing to the random people that have gotten serenades, and then they come over to our table. I'm gonna give my friends' names pseudonyms because don't need to out anyone. We have Zara, Anita, and her boyfriend Scott, as well as another friend named Hayden. I wasn't very close with Hayden, but he sat at our table. We're all sitting there, a cappella group comes over. I'm like, aw, Scott probably bought one for Anita. That was not the case. This kid, we're gonna call him Jason, he was like, Meadow, we have a serenade for you. And I was like, what? And, you know, obviously this got me a little bit excited. I was like, who sent me a serenade? And they were like, it was anonymous. And I was like, oh my God. I'm sitting at the table, you know, getting sung to. I think it was What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. It was either that or Perfect by Ed Sheeran. I'm like excited because I think that someone has a crush on me. As I mentioned, this is something I'm very insecure about. So I think this is like a genuine, like, oh my God, my life is about to get better. I was like texting my best friend Lena, and I was like, oh my God, someone sent me a serenade, like I'm so excited, like I wonder who it is. I went to Spanish class with Zara right after lunch, and Jason was also in that class. We all sat pretty close to each other, and I asked Jason, I was like, can you like tell me who sent me a serenade? And he was like, I think it's pretty obvious. And I was like, what? Because there was this kid that I had a crush on that, like, there was like a very complicated thing, not very, but like somewhat complicated thing happening. So I was like thinking it was him, but like definitely wasn't. The next day comes around, you know, like I'm still trying to figure out who sent me this serenade. I'm still like, I don't know who it is. I'm like still giddy about it, you know? In the morning before school starts, all the kids come and they sit in the cafeteria. So I'm sitting in the cafeteria next to my friend Darcy. I was like, do you know who sent me that serenade? Because it's like really bugging me at this point. She was like, yeah, that friend group that you sit with at lunch. Darcy was not in my lunch. I think she was in A lunch and I was in B. They sent that to you. And I was like, what? Why would they like hide it then? Like, why wouldn't they tell me? And she was like, I overheard them talking about it and they thought it would be funny to play a joke on you. You know, I'm sitting there holding back tears because like that obviously really hurt my feelings. This other girl that I was friends with, Alexis, she came over and she like gave me a hug because she could see that like a switch flipped like quick. Like I was just like over. Rest of the day, I'm obviously pissed at that friend group. I'm like, why wouldn't they tell me that? Lunchtime of that day comes. I'm trying to act as normal as possible, but I'm like very upset. I walked down to lunch and I forgot my lunch conveniently, oopsie. And so I'm like, hey Zara, will you come up to my locker with me to get my lunch because I forgot it? And so we start walking, and the thing about Zara is that she is literally one of the slowest walkers in the world. Like she walked so slow, everyone would always make fun of her for it. And this day, as we're going up to my locker, she was like, let's hurry. And I was like, why? I knew why. She didn't know I knew why. So we walk up there at my leisurely pace because I am not about to rush to get down to my demise. Get my lunch, walk back down, we sit down, and serenade group comes in, starts singing to random people again, comes back over to the table. Jason is like, Meadow, we have another serenade for you. I know what's happening at this point. I look Zara dead in the eyes and I say, did you guys send these to me? Don't lie to me. And she said no, right to my face. Straight up just like, lied. I'm sitting there getting sung to, trying to hold back tears, trying to hold back a panic attack, essentially, because a full one ensued after this serenade happened. I am not paying attention, I am not smiling, I'm trying to drink my water to hold back the the knot in my throat. The choir teacher is standing there like recording it, and I just like looked at her and she just, like phoned down. Like she realized like this was not the vibe. And then they walk away and I like bawling straight out, just full on like, I cannot do this. Like I'm being lied to. There's a lot of attention on me and I'm not having a good time. Like I'm not okay, like I can't breathe. Anita looks at me and she goes, Meadow, don't cry, somebody likes you. Like I knew I was being lied to at this point, and she continued to like keep going and like really try to give me that false hope to make me want to die, right? So I'm like pissed off, I'm upset, like I can't, like I'm not having a good time. And by the way, just like to like add this in here, they were buying the serenades when I went to the bathroom at lunch, because I'd go to the bathroom at lunch 10 minutes before the bell rung so I wouldn't have to pee in class and use a hall pass. And they timed it, they went out there and they kept buying, like they went out there and they just kept buying serenades. Like that's kind of on me for having a schedule, but also like why would you do that to like your friend? I get back on my laptop to text my best friend who always has my back, and I was like, here's what happened today. Hayden, who, again, I mentioned, we weren't like super close at the time, and he did not know that like this was a big problem for me. Like this is like big root insecurity. Like I don't like to bring attention to it. He was the only one out of the people sitting at that table that comforted me. He was just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, are you okay? Do you know what Zara, Anita, and Scott did? They ignored me for the entire rest of that lunch. Did not talk to me, literally scooted their chairs over to one side, did not speak to me. Because they knew what they did. And they would not admit it, and they kept digging themselves deeper into a lie. I go to the bathroom to try and like stop myself from crying, like it's not working, like my face is red. After that, I have to go to Spanish and sit next to Zara. I'm, sitting there like literally just like, I don't want to be here, like I want to go home. Like I'm about to start crying thinking about it, because like that was, anyway. Literally ignoring her existence, because I don't want to talk to her. She looks at me and she goes, are you okay? And I just look at her and go, no. Cause like, do you think I'm okay? I just had a full-on panic attack at lunch. Like I was bawling, crying, could not breathe. I go home, I'm like crying on and off, like for the rest of the day. Like I'm not having a good time. My mom made me go to like the sports club that we were a part of, and I like had to tell her like what happened, because I was like sitting up there like crying. Literally crying in a public place at this point. Like I'm not having a good day. I text one of the girls that's in the acapella group. Let's call her Corinne. I text her, I'm like, can you tell me who, like, I just want confirmation at this point. And she was like, I'm sorry, we can't. Girl, what are they gonna do? They're gonna kick you out for telling a girl that's literally been crying for a solid like 6 hours? And so I text Zara's ex-boyfriend. Let's call him Steven. Like, did you participate in this? When they were buying the serenades, they were still dating. Literally, like, what went on? Because, like, I knew he was gonna rat Zara out real quick. And he was like, okay, well, they decided to do this at lunch when you were in the bathroom one day. I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe he was trying to play hero, but whatever. He was like, I told them that it was like not a good idea because you got anxious in big crowds, like you didn't like a bunch of attention on you. He said that Anita said that I could get over it. I text Darcy again and I'm like, can you talk to Anita and just like see like if you can get the serenade canceled for tomorrow, because I knew there was another one coming. Darcy texts Anita and Anita doesn't get it canceled because they already paid for it, which like, give them a refund. Like, it's not that hard. So the acapella group still came over to our table the other day, but it was like they gave like the little like gifts to Zara and Anita. I was still very uncomfortable, like this is the third day in a row that there are people at our table and everyone's looking over here, so I hated it. After, the group left, I was like, so I know you guys sent those to me, like why did you do that? Of course, Darcy had already told me like they did it because they thought it would be funny. Anita was like, we thought it would just be nice for you. And it's like, then tell me that you did it. Like you wouldn't have kept it a secret and been like, somebody likes you. Like you would not have given me false hope if that was like the actual case. They never apologized for doing that. I never got a sorry. But yeah, that was my awful Valentine's Day experience in high school. This is for all the people that don't want to see lovey-dovey things on Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoyed my awful experience. If you did, you should give this video a fat thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button and the bell, because when you do, you'll get a notification every time I upload so you won't miss a video. Anyway, I will see you guys next week, hopefully providing that school doesn't kick my butt. Bye!